Hey Adi,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm fine.
Hmm. How hot it is getting now.
Yeah. mm. I was thinking about the Bangalore incident. So, there's water shortage, I guess. Is it because of the, hot?
Yeah, so of course, there are various theories. It's very hot compared to how Bangalore used to be. And the rains are,
Doesn't it rain over there?
no, the rains, they have seen that there is a reduction in rains as compared to previous times. Last 3 years, they've received very less rain. So they are awaiting the rain. It was also, Bangalore was once known as City of Lakes. And now all the lakes are drying up. Even when they are digging to find water, they are not finding any water. So there's a real issue there.
So, they're getting water from other states.
Yeah, they must be managing, but I think the people living there, they are uh, managing with very less water now. Like some people have just 5 gallons for a week or something like that. So the situation is really bad.
5 gallons is around 2 liters for 1 gallon.
Imagine that. Oh God, imagine that. And
Oh.
see, this also tells you that, especially,
Yeah, so
uh,
you're getting 10 liters per,
mm,
you know.
see, staying in small cities, I think this problem is not much there.
Yeah, so in Chennai,
Mm.
what happens when it rains? Like there's no drainage system,
Mm-hmm.
but here when it rains, like in this small city, it just goes into one sort of alley and it washes away. So it's
Yeah,
very
also
fast.
because this place is where we live is sort of, in at a height, so all the water goes down basically when it rains too much. Chennai, it's really bad because the moment it starts raining, people start drowning there. Even Bangalore last year, when it rained.
Yeah, like there's
Hmm.
somewhere it flooded, and
Hmm.
then I saw like the pictures and videos. There were like people paddling in these life rescue
Hmm.
boats, and they were saving people. So
There
it
were
was
so
like
many,
some lake.
yeah, I think we have seen the news. There were so many cars drowned
Mhm.
and everything else because the
And
water.
even people like help me
Hmm.
boat, and they're doing like that.
I think when it rains, there is not enough way to store the extra water. Like there was an initiative in Tamil Nadu once of, rainwater harvesting, where there's too much of water, you know,
Yeah, so just
they can harvest the rain
yeah,
and.
even in the
Hmm.
Asansol, my your aunt's house,
Hmm.
you know how in the terrace there's a big sort of a
Hmm.
like not container, very big. So
Tank,
yeah, there can be like so many people fit inside, but it's like a water
water
harvest.
storage,
Yeah,
water storage. Yeah, and you don't find this problem much in small cities of water shortage, but you find especially,
in big
yeah,
cities.
in my
So like
knowledge,
the
yeah.
population of Bangalore, have you heard? It's like 12 million, around 12 million people, live there, and
Hmm.
8 million cars, which is also very polluting for Bangalore's
Mm,
environment. And like how many, like around 1,000 cars are being registered every day.
wow. So look at that. So the huge problem that Bangalore faces, anyways, it is of the
Yeah,
traffic
like the
issue.
new Namma metro came, we tried that,
Hmm.
it was so fun. Like it's
Hmm.
better than cars, cabs,
Hmm.
and it's very cheap option to travel. But
Yeah,
it's
though
only
the
for
entire
some
city is
parts.
not yet connected,
Yeah.
but I think it will definitely
Even
reduce.
Chennai metros, I think, forming.
Hmm.
But the thing is, when it rains very heavily, I don't think so. They'll shut down it for that day.
I don't think the metros will shut down its in rains. I don't think so.
Like very
If
heavy
it's
rains when it started raining and
but
everything.
when people can't travel, then it's a different thing.
Then they'll have
Hmm.
to. Then the quiet also can't come.
Yeah, and I think with most of the IT companies being in Bangalore, that's one reason why most
Yeah,
of
so
the
like a
Indian
lot of working
population,
employees, a lot from
most
India
of the
go
young
there.
engineers, they move to Bangalore, right?
And like
Because
there are a lot of jobs.
mm,
It's starting to change, but still there are a lot of jobs there.
yeah, and I mean we have a lot of friends there who are, though most of them are working remotely, but still they need to go to office.
Like hybrid.
Yeah, sometimes or the other, and they say that reaching their office itself takes a lot of time. They can't move very closer to offices because they say that the flats are very expensive,
Yeah,
So
like
like
it starts
average
around
is
from 40,000.
40 50K, and then see, imagine how much can you actually save, right?
Yeah,
And I think it's good for people who can, still work there, but can have, it can be completely remote, so they can come back to their home wherever they live, small towns,
yeah,
and
and also
have.
if you talk about little about Delhi,
Hmm.
like the pollution there, like I think so. When you're going to go on the roads of Delhi, you can see a little bit pollution. I think because
Yeah, I mean, I know personally some friends who were getting sick, and they had to leave the city, leave the job after they were having, you know, they were coughing, they were getting sick frequently, and they have these air filters in every
air
house now,
purifiers.
purifiers, yeah. And that's a common thing that you will see. It's highly populated again. You have daily wage workers, you have all kinds of workers who go to Delhi, and so obviously, but of course, those
Yeah.
people are not the main ones who are increasing the
Yeah, and the
pollution.
whole India is
Hmm.
starting to get so humid.
Hmm.
So like here, every day it's around 40 Celsius or
Hmm.
100 Fahrenheit, and in Hyderabad, I think it's more. In Nagpur, it
Hmm.
was hot.
I think this time,
Mm.
the early summer months itself, it was very, very hot. That kind of temperature that you would expect
Yeah, and here of the
later.
winter, it was like we didn't even feel any winter. It was like a light
It
wind
wasn't,
that
yeah,
touched.
it was quite manageable winter, I would
Yeah,
say that, like.
like the
And
winter I like.
even in one news, I heard that even the Bangalore weather in winter was quite warm. It wasn't like chilly or something like
Yeah,
that.
so
Hmm.
last year, so
Hmm.
last year I'm talking about 2023. So 2022 and 2021, it was quite colder than this 2023's winter.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So I think, when we talk about the weather changes, I think of course schools teach kids about, the importance of planting trees, and how to be sustainable. But I think if these things are not practiced at home,
mm.
then you just do it as a school activity. You don't carry it in yourself. I know many people who can, who do not respect water, who do not respect their what they have. They are not grateful. See, people's they waste so much water, right? And you can go and ask people who are living in Delhi, or Chennai and Bangalore, how,
Bangalore is now
yeah, how
very.
important is whatever water they have. In Chennai,
Yeah,
we
I
had
think
a water
something is.
meter. We used to pay for
Yeah,
water, and then we used to be so careful with water, because we were paying. The more
yeah,
you can use, more, but then you will have to pay, right?
the more.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's also for
hmm,
here, right? So
hmm,
you have to certain amount. I was talking about.
hmm,
So I think something is going to have happen about fuel in the future like this, because even fuel is consumed a lot for
hmm,
bikes, cars,
hmm,
and EVs are not still changed the market. People have not changed their minds,
hmm,
and the biggest problem, people face is for the EVs. They charge, they take time,
hmm,
but in petrol you just go like it's filled up. So that's why people
hmm,
prefer. So there should be something with electricity and EVs that it's good, like just like petrol. But yeah, I think something is going to happen with petrol and stuff that.
hmm. I think slowly now the taxis are coming, or EV taxis are coming, even in the place we live.
Yeah, here. So if you go to the airport, like the airport is around 50 kilometers
Hmm,
from here. So like the poster I showed you from the newspaper, the Time One Electric.
hmm.
So they have these Tata Tiago electric vehicles, and for the airport coming and going, they have these buses. So
Traveling, or when we travel, we realize all this, how water, how you should use water. You have limited water, and you have to be in train or whatever for a long time. How to
yeah,
be
and the
careful with.
dustbins are like they get full
Hmm,
until a big station comes, and I'm like,
hmm,
and then even if the dustbin is not full, I see a lot of people. So like sustainability is a good thing to practice, and then they just start stuffing things outside, and they throw outside the train, because the government have to send the workers for that. We also talked about this in a train, right? I also have a documentary about that I'll share that in the description so you guys can see that.
Also, like you said, we have to be very conscious about how what impact we are leaving on earth, right? And these, I think, these are some discussions we never have.
And
Yeah.
like 22 February, not February, 22nd April, which is yesterday from this day's recording, it was Earth Day. Yeah.
And I think see, I have some problem with celebrating something only on a particular day, doing like 1,000 activities in the school, and then never worrying about it.
Some people on Earth Day must have been also throwing confetti.
Exactly. So now you only dedicate. So what you do is you disconnect yourself with something like that, and you don't believe in that practice. So you're just doing it because it's
Like
Earth
it's
Day.
just like
Yeah.
Earth Day.
So though the idea of these organizations or other that is that you understand, they take this as a excuse to teach about Earth Day. But I think these are some practices that has to be in one person. Like you have to be conscious about certain things in your life, right? Am I using too much of plastic? Why do I need this
Yeah, so
plastic
we
thing?
stopped using so much
Huh.
plastic
Hmm.
to.
And you have to start consciously you have to start asking these questions. Other things I think you have to be conscious about is how much food, right, you need. How much do you take on your plate? Are you wasting too
Yeah,
much
sometimes
food?
in hotels,
Yeah.
like you take a lot of, and you're
Exactly.
thinking that
See,
it's not about like
hmm.
your money is going into waste. It's about, it's coming from, like, whenever you're going to eat vegetables, if you think it's coming from the farm, the farm sellers, they sell it, and then from there it comes to a truck to a city, and from the city it gets distributed, and you buy it for money.
So it is traveling, right? The food is traveling and then it is coming. So everything has a
Story
impact,
behind it.
right? And everything has an impact on earth,
Yeah,
right?
that's what's called carbon footprint. So how
Yes,
much carbon
exactly. How much
footprint?
carbon footprint anything has. And your food also travels, it reaches you. And sometimes remember we were
Yeah, and I've
watching this
also
video.
I've
Like now many foreigners are coming to India and they are exploring uh, hotels, expensive hotels, and you will see how much food is wasted. And I mean,
yeah,
being you know uh, having a luxurious lifestyle is not bad. What is
yeah.
important that you respect
You're
what you get.
going to respect the environment. You're going to respect everything.
And like I said, it has to be very much inbuilt in our system from our childhood.
Yeah,
Like
so
I'll tell you.
sometimes when I'm like,
Hmm.
wasting something a lot, so like sometimes it just, like, if I'm using a lot of plastic that day, it just triggers up in my mind that I should not do use so much plastic or something.
Like
Same for the health. So one day, like when we went to the Iron meet, how there was this chai breaks. So one day I had around 3 chais, and from the next, like that day, I realized that it just alarmed in my mind that if I have too much chais, it's not good because of the sugar hike and all this. So from the next day, I was only having it for one or not more.
And see, especially when you're going to parties or when you're in meetings,
Yeah, and you're
conferences,
like, oh, it's just for a day, and then
no, you're using those plastic cups, right?
yeah,
Like you
that's
you keep you don't keep it and you refill it. What you do, you whenever you go and have a sip of water, you're going filling it and just throwing it.
so here there's a tradition. So for the Ram Navami celebration, so a lot of people go dancing,
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
they have plastic cups. Okay, so we were we have to give water and chana. What is a chana in English?
Horse gram.
Huh?
Horse gram.
Yeah, if you say that. So we not sell, but we
You distribute.
distribute. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we distribute. So for water we had a lot of water and plastic cups. So now what happens is people will come, they will take water, And then at the end of the day, like we sold around not sold,
Distributed.
distributed 2,000 cups. And those cups, and then they were throwing it in the drains. Okay, and a lot of people were just going on throwing it on the road. So there are this much cups, like we were cleaning away and putting it away in the away, because like on the road it was like in front of the shop it was full of plastic cups. And there was it was full of plastic cups, so then we had to clear it away at the end of the day.
Exactly. But if there was a dustbin there, at least the trash could have been reduced. And I can understand that with a rush like that, it's not easy to distribute water in your steel glass, or it's not easy to wash those glass and keep giving them, right? It's a tough thing. Maybe paper cups can be a good idea. And but paper cups again, they have a lining right inside.
Like a lot of people say paper cups are really good, they're not harmful for the environment. But if you're drinking tea or water or anything in a plastic cup, plastic I'm saying paper cup, it can't, like papers are not for holding water. So like there's something for holding it. Plastic is the best thing. So they have this like small lining of plastic film, and then they're like, oh, this is fully and it's not visible.
That's how you get tricked, no? I think I don't know. I'm not sure about it. So there was this.
And whenever you get food in trains, you see the plates are plastic. So like one day I was, I was seeing my surrounding. So like everything I was using, I saw was plastic. So everything is plastic. And I was like, don't you get disgusted of plastic? And it's like, just like that. Like,
sometimes you will see that you're surrounded. And I think that whenever even you're having small trips, we should always carry our own bottles, right? Second, we should always have our own plates, and a bowl and a spoon and a glass, right? So that you can always
you're saving the environment.
Yeah, how many paper, and those foils are horrible.
Oh my.
Those aluminum foils
And those rubber bands.
Yeah, those are horrible because these foils.
And in parties, like big parties, they like these things to do, like they're putting confetti, and that's really harmful because any sort of plastic, like when this is going to have, like this is going to go into the trash, this is going to have 1,000 years, then it started to get degraded, like it will go and start degrading.
I think these are some things that we need to start very consciously practicing at home. Like, I mean, the basic things are at least putting the trash in the trash can. I think that's the most basic thing because you will not see. I mean, there were a couple of days back, I was walking and I saw a school child sitting in the van, and he just threw the, wrapper
like
outside. Yeah. And I was
so
walking.
He
just
school
threw.
bus was passing, and then like the kids have their snacks and all the window. They're like plastic, like those literally all me.
And I think if somebody is listening to this, they will be like, this is so normal. People do it, but I think this is what we need to change.
And in India, mostly like in this town, like people just spit on the roads, and that's really bad. Because someone has to clean it, and mostly
we take morning walks and we see how people who are cleaning the trash areas
so for a whole day when the cleaners are cleaning, like big tractors, big trailers, all the trash goes. So it's like, so for one place you just do a little bit of trash cleaning and this much plastic.
And literally, if you the stench, the smell there, if you like your entire day, you can literally, you will suffer if you pass that.
That's why whenever I'm going cycling, so I avoid that.
I mean, remember in Asansol, there was once the government had distributed buckets for wet waste and dry waste.
So I saw like people were using it like as a dustbin.
And people were happy that they got extra buckets, and so they just took it inside. They didn't want to segregate. And still the vans that they have made for collecting, it's still written wet waste and dry waste, but they were saying that no, people don't use it. And I think that's what.
So
these
I asked my grandmother, like, your aunt, you don't use it for wet waste? Like, I got a full bucket for water. I won't use that.
But see, that's why there's something, the miscommunication is there, no? Also, you can get school degrees and you can get a college degree, but if you don't learn these basic things,
skills,
you can get a good job somewhere, But if you don't know how to survive sustainably, because you don't understand that you have an
And
impact.
also, like a big thing which is used a lot, and even if it's going to get like a serious topic, is not going to go, is tissue papers. They come from cutting trees, and also these schools. What they do is, when you're going to open a book, you're going to leave 3 pages, and once you're going to write, you're going to leave a page and then the other. So you're going to do something like that. But what happens is, like, papers are basically made from trees, so more tissue papers or paper you're consuming are actually consuming more trees. And after you wrote in a whole notebook, you're going to throw it away.
Exactly. And imagine so many schools, so many students, and so many
And so
notebooks,
many trees.
and so many trees. I think these are the things that we need to really reflect to move on. Like, now that we are seeing that in bigger cities, how the temperature is rising, how the
Like, not even for big cities, in even small cities, everything so humid.
and that is an impact on how much rains you're getting. This will impact on have an impact on the food as well,
Because
because
it's drying up the lakes. Lakes give the all the process for rain, and that's not going to
and
happen
also
much
this is
more.
because there's so many we have exceeded the limit of buildings that we need to make.
And all this climate change has happened because of we were doing a mistake after another, and things were getting invented after another. This is called the Swiss cheese model. So this also happens in aviation incidents. So, like, if this was stopped, then the whole incident could have stopped. So, like, Swiss cheese, there's like 5 layers of cheese, so 5 mistakes, and then you get this big hole, which can see through. So that's called the Swiss cheese model.
Very interesting. And I think the way we have started making buildings on lakes, obviously, when it rains, there's no lake to get filled.
Yeah,
And
also,
then,
if the bigger buildings are also near lakes, that's good for them because they're putting all their waste inside the lakes or ponds.
then you're basically, that's the reason now you're
Destroying.
not having migratory birds also, because there's no lake. So where are they going to come?
Yeah, and a
Right.
lot of animals are getting extinct at this point.
No, I think that is another side that we see, cows eating everything rather
Oh
than
my God.
food, right? And that's again a very sad state. Anyway, so I think the best thing
Like, we
that
can talk about this for hours, and it's not going to
I think the best thing we can do is at least start building those habits from early on. Like, at least know that you have an impact. Like, know that you be careful with water. And know that you be conscious about how much you buy, how many things you're consuming, how much food you're ordering. Will you be eating so much? Right? How much food you're cooking? Will you be eating so much? Right? And if not, then why do you have so much food? If not, then why are you buying so many clothes? And I think
like, we can make an interactive app or game in Flutter about this.
that's
More
interesting.
sustainable.
Yeah.
I can create one with ChatGPT and myself.
That's a good idea. It's a brilliant idea, I think. Thanks, Adi, for discussing, and we will leave the links that you discussed about below. And if anybody has any question or anything related to what we spoke today, we will
Yeah,
be
also
happy to answer.
documentary is linked below about SDG. And yeah, down,
All right.
down,
Bye bye.
peace.